Did you know that Thomas Edison, one of the most celebrated inventors in history, didn't actually invent the light bulb? That's right, folks. The story is a tad more complicated than that. While Edison's name is indeed synonymous with the light bulb, the reality is that he was not the first to dream up the idea. Several inventors before him, such as Humphrey Davy, Warren de la Rue, and Joseph Swan, had already developed versions of the light bulb. Their contributions laid the foundation for Edison's work. What Edison did do, however, was refine and improve upon these earlier designs. His genius lay not in the creation of the light bulb itself, but in enhancing its practicality and commercial viability. So, in truth, while Edison didn't invent the light bulb, he did make significant improvements to it. There you have it, the first myth debunked. Stay tuned as we unravel more about this legendary figure. Edison, the lone genius, not quite as solitary as you might think. Let's delve into the second myth about Thomas Edison. Many believe Edison was a solitary genius, a lone wolf who single-handedly revolutionized the tech world. The reality? Quite the opposite. Edison was a maestro who conducted an orchestra of brilliant minds. At his research laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey, he was surrounded by an ensemble of talented engineers, scientists, and inventors. Edison understood the magic that unfolds when great minds come together. He delegated tasks, sought input, and fostered a collaborative environment. So Edison's success was the symphony of collective effort, not the solo of individual brilliance. Moving on to the third myth about Edison inventing the motion picture camera. While it's true that Edison played a pivotal role in the development of early motion picture technology, he wasn't the lone inventor. The concept of capturing moving images had been toyed with by several inventors before Edison. Louis Le Prince and Edward Muybridge, for instance, were pioneers in this field. Edison's significant contribution was the development of the kinetoscope, a device for viewing moving images, which he patented in 1891. So, while Edison's work on the kinetoscope was indeed groundbreaking, he wasn't the sole inventor of the motion picture camera. It's a testament to the collaborative nature of innovation, where each inventor builds upon the work of those who came before. Was Edison the ethical inventor we often portray him as? Let's delve deeper. The fourth myth we're busting today is that Edison was a beacon of ethical behavior in his business dealings. However, if we take a closer look at the historical accounts, we find a more complex narrative. Edison was known for vigorously defending his patents, often entangling himself in legal disputes with competing inventors. His approach to protecting his inventions was so aggressive that it raised eyebrows even in his time. Furthermore, he was criticized for his treatment of employees, with some accusing him of exploiting the work of others without giving due credit. Now let's move on to the fifth and final myth, that Edison was the sole inventor of the phonograph. While it's true that he developed the first practical and commercially successful version of this device in 1877, the idea of recording sound was not entirely his brainchild. The concept of capturing and reproducing sound dates back to the early 19th century. Inventors like Edward Leon Scott de Martinville had already been exploring this idea. And in fact, Martinville's phonautograph was the first device to visually record sound waves. Edison's genius lay in his ability to refine these ideas and make them commercially successful. His version of the phonograph not only recorded sound but also reproduced it, which was a significant advancement. However, it's important to remember that, like the light bulb, the motion picture camera, and many of his other inventions, the phonograph was the product of a collective effort, building upon the work of those who came before him. So while Edison did indeed create the first practical phonograph, he wasn't the original inventor. His true talent was in taking existing ideas and refining them to a point where they could be mass-produced and sold, forever changing the way we live our lives. Edison was a pivotal figure in history, but it's essential to remember the many other inventors whose contributions made his work possible. So there you have it, 5 myths about Thomas Edison debunked. We've clarified that Edison did not solely invent the light bulb. He was not a solitary genius, nor the sole inventor of the motion picture camera. We've also shed light on the complexities of his ethics and the origins of the phonograph. These misconceptions remind us that history is often more nuanced than it seems. Remember, history is often more complex than it seems at first glance. Thanks for joining us on this myth-busting journey about Thomas Edison.